Bitcoin has just put in a bullish hammer candle and it has started this week off on the right foot in the green. But how long will that last and where will this take us? Hello everyone, my name is J1 General and welcome back to another cryptocurrency video. If you like this type of content, make sure you hit that thumbs up, make sure you hit that subscribe button as it always makes help the channel grow. And if you are a fan of cryptocurrency, I have a cryptocurrency shop where you can shop cryptocurrency products. Anything from coins, tickers, t-shirts, accessories, a crypto educational course that I made myself, all of that good stuff. I'll leave a link in the description down below so you can shop 5% off. And without further ado, let's begin with the video. In today's video, ladies and gentlemen, I will be discussing, what I've been discussing in my videos in the past week and why we have bounced essentially 10% from this week down, up 11.6% since that correction from the peak of the Bitcoin spot ETF. If you watched my videos last week, you would have listened and you would have seen that I was calling this a low and a fake out. And the reason why I was calling that a low and a fake out is because a lot of individuals on X, formerly known as Twitter, were very bearish on price action and everyone was calling for at least 36, 35k and even 32k in the short term. Now it's okay to think that, especially after Bitcoin going up like crazy in the last 4 months, but Bitcoin has a habit where it likes to trick and fool a lot of people, and as funny as that sounds, that's exactly what happens. It plays with people's emotions because you can expect after price going up like crazy, you could have some nice reversal, but Bitcoin likes to suck in a lot of people before experiencing some sort of crash. When Bitcoin crashes when literally no one expects it. That's just the way it is. And there was also a lot of liquidity on the upside, which is why I was predicting some sort of a short-term bounce. Not only did the price decrease as well by 20%, some technical indications were screaming for a small bounce. And if I just show you the daily moving average, actually, if we pull up some moving averages, after this significant top, which is the 618, we decreased by over 20%. So it's normal to pull back into these moving averages. And this is where the $1 million question lies. It just feels like at this moment in time, every day or every week feels like the most important week for Bitcoin. So the 20-day moving average currently sits at 42.1k. And the 50-day moving average currently sits at 42.8k. Bitcoin right now is currently sitting above both of them at 43.1k. You can see it right here. If Bitcoin can close the daily above these two moving averages, then that is a bullish sign. But we have a few hours left until we can essentially confirm and say that Bitcoin is bullish. Bitcoin needs to close above 42.8k. In this region right here, we do not want to see Bitcoin close the day there because then it could be signs of a fake out. There's a lot of levels above as well if Bitcoin does break this, and I just want to say one of the first levels is this 44.6k, and then after that we do have the 47k level. So there's a lot of levels to be wary about once or if Bitcoin does confirm this as a bullish breakout. But I've been calling this breakout, and maybe one of the narratives as to why it broke up, because it's funny with technical analysis, you see the charts, you analyze the charts, you understand what the charts are telling you, and then once the charts play out, then the narratives are there to confirm it. It always happens. There's a narrative today that just came out, which could be the reason as to why Bitcoin is pumping. And it is Google updated its guidelines today to allow crypto trusts to advertise their products in the US. BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF ads are already popping up. Van Eck and Franklin Templeton have already begun advertising their Bitcoin ETFs on Google. So Google has accepted advertisements for Bitcoin, which it hasn't done so in quite a while. So that is good news. That is good news because it allows more eyes to see the Bitcoin spot ETFs, which could essentially result in more inflows coming in to the cryptocurrency asset class. But with that being said, guys, this is a warning. This is a warning because I have also been suggesting that we will bounce and we will find some resistance somewhere. And then I think it will ultimately result lower, maybe to this level of support right here. And the reason why I say that is because not only is the sentiment becoming bullish again, but if I show you the liquidity heat map, and really you shouldn't take this heat map to the bank and confirm it as 100%, even though it has helped me and it has become a very useful tool in terms of how I can navigate the markets in the short term. You may look at a lot of indicators, may look at narratives, but when you have these sort of charts and you put all the pieces of the puzzle together, it kind of helps you essentially analyze it better and more with a clear mind, even if you have a specific bias. Yeah. So on the 24-hour chart, you can see that Bitcoin has taken out the majority of liquidity to the upside. There is some long liquidations piling up on the 24-hour. If we check the 3-day, you can also see that again the long liquidations are piling up between that 41 and 42k area, even though there are some liquidations between 43 and 44k, which is also why I said in my videos last week we could go a bit higher towards that 44, maybe 45k before ultimately getting rejected and falling back down. But if we check on the weekly as well, we can see that once it loads, that the majority of the liquidity is on that downside between 38 to 40k. So maybe we do come up to this 44k to clear out literally all the liquidity. Everyone gets bullish again. The sentiment is bullish. Everyone is hype before ultimately finding resistance. And not only do we find resistance, we form a lower high from the 618 Fibonacci of the peak of the Bitcoin spot ETF. And this would be very eerily similar to 2019. And I just want to show you guys why. Yeah. If I expand this chart right now, I've got two things I want to say. Yeah. I've got two things I want to say. Because a lot of individuals think that we are at this part of the cycle. Or a lot of individuals think that we are at this part of the cycle. And both individuals who have these theses, they have valid points. Yeah, don't get me wrong, both sides have valid points. And I just want to urge everyone out there who watches any cryptocurrency video, you need to understand the logic and watch videos and understand the analysis with an open mind. Yeah. And I say that because I know a lot of investors, and including myself in my early days of cryptocurrency, you want to believe one bias, yeah, because you want it to pan out how you want it to pan out. But these financial markets always end up resulting in the opposite direction that you would want it to go. And I know everyone who is like a highly professional analyst right now, they've been burnt in the past, but it's when you learn from your mistakes. And I've made this mistake quite a few times, and it's taken me a long time to understand and learn it, but that's okay because once you learn it, then it's great, right? But I just want you guys to understand each theory, each narrative, take it with a pinch of salt, understand all sides of the argument, and then compress it and then make your own. Once you do that, make a plan and stick to it. And that's it. And I can guarantee you that once you do that, you will become very successful within the cryptocurrency market. So allow me to explain why it is very eerily similar to 2019. Yeah. If we take a look at 2019's peak, again, this peak right here in June, July of 2019, that was the peak that hit the elusive 618 before pulling back. Yeah, just like how we have here. Bitcoin price has rallied to the 618 before pulling back. Now, depending on if Bitcoin can put in a higher low, just like so, that is awaiting to be seen. The reason why I'm more so towards this part of the cycle as to this part of the cycle, well, one is because the halving hasn't happened yet. If we go back to 2020, the halving happened right here, yeah, just after the pandemic crash. The halving is expected to take place within the first week of April of 2024, so right here. So if this is true, that means we are essentially front-running the market. Front-running the market, the crypto market. And I don't want to say that can't happen because it's never happened before, but anything can happen within the cryptocurrency market. The other reason why I do believe that we are more so similar to this is because if I pull up the 100 week moving average, let's just change this color to white so you guys can see it properly. Before we essentially expanded from this move in 2020, yeah, another reason why I don't believe we are at this stage is because at this point when Bitcoin went on a crazy rally, the price of Bitcoin had already tested the 100 week moving average. Yeah, it had already done so. But at this point, even though the halving hasn't happened yet, look how similar this looks, where we might pull back into the 100 week moving average. That's the reason why I'm skeptical as to why I don't believe we're at this point yet, because if you look at past cycles in Bitcoin history, you have to retest the 100 week moving average as support before you go on to make these parabolic runs. And you can see that in 2019 it was too early right here, and it just looks eerily similar, especially if we put in a higher low. I'd be surprised if price puts in a higher high, but that still might not invalidate the thesis of going into a parabolic run like this until we backtest a 100 week moving average as support. So where is the 100 week moving average? The 100 week moving average is currently sitting at just over 28k. And at prices of 43k, you'd think, wow, 28k is 15k away. That's a good, it's a good 40% away. If we take an exact value, it's around 35% away. Apologies, but from the top it would be around 40%. But don't forget, this is a lagging indicator that as the weeks go by, this indicator is going to start curling up. So Bitcoin could essentially be range bound for quite a while until it retests the 100 week moving average. I firmly believe that the price of Bitcoin has to retest this 100 week moving average before going into its next parabolic rally. Yeah, that's just my opinion. I'm sure other people will have different opinions, and they'll have essentially more valid reasons as to why they believe we're at this point in the market. But that's just my opinion, guys. Take it with a pinch of salt. That's just what I think. It's always best to do your own research. But yeah, that's it from me today. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as always, it's been your boy, J1 General. Thank you and goodbye.